Hey, it's Ernie, the trader of futures, and it is. Oh, bad timing. Go away. I got to put that on silent. It is Friday, November 2nd, and it has been. I know I've been away for a little while. Sorry about that, but it's been a very, very busy week. Been doing lots of very, very interesting things that I may talk about in the near future. But perhaps the most interesting thing right now is the great run-up that we've had in the market off the bottom. And now today we're taking a little bit of a rest, pulling back. And my expectation is that we will continue this run sometime in the future. But, will we find a bottom here, for this pullback today? That I don't know. I know that in our service, our artificial intelligence setup service, the AI setup service, the embodiment, we have two trades that are focused specifically on this move. One with the S&P mid caps, the 400, and one with the big caps, the 500. So, and we're getting to that point. Surprisingly, they have two very different targets. Now, the mid cap, it seems like we're going to be going down a little bit further. At least that's what the embodiment is predicting. However, the big cap seems to think that we're probably close to a bottom here, and it wants to go long now. Now, they don't have to be lockstep. They just don't. It's, they're both the S&P, I understand that, but they're a completely different segment. One's big cap, one's medium cap. So that's the question. Do we go long here? Do we buy this dip? Buy the dip. We already bought the big dip. Now do we buy this minor dip? So I can't answer that question for you. Can't answer that question for you. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring up the comments. So, I can't answer that question for you. I'm going to bring up the comments. Couldn't mute it fast enough. Pop out the chat. Bring it over. So Arakara is saying, hey, Ernie, no equity trades the past few days. And that is true. And as a matter of fact, when we first started the equity service, we didn't have any equity trades for the first 4 days, 3 or 4 days. And then there was one. And then they came in a flurry. And that's just the way it is. With futures and Forex, there's naturally more things to look at, and there are more trades. So you just have to be patient. It'll all be there. The equity trades will come. So we're doing equities, futures, and Forex. All of these setups are generated by our artificial intelligence neural net, the embodiment that we've been working on for the past, 4 years, has it been? 4 years, I think. Yeah, about 4 years. But this is definitely not the same embodiment that we had, say, last year or the year before or the year before that. This is, every year it gets better. Every year we find a new way, I don't know. I don't want to call it an algorithm, or maybe a new outlook. And that seems to work for it. But anyways, Bitcoin's still under pressure. Not much to really report there. Some people are asking me for a volumetric analysis of Bitcoin. I would say that if you go back and look at any of my videos that did volumetric analysis on Bitcoin, it's still pretty much the same show, because nothing has changed. And the volume has just completely dried up, and it hasn't really moved very much. I suspect that at some point we're going to see a big, big drop. It looked that way last week. Started to move down, and then it held off. So it's hanging in there, but not because of its merits. It's hanging in there because there are people out there. Did I hear something over there? There are not people. There are whales out there that are having a hard time digesting the fact that Bitcoin has to come down. They really are. They don't want to, join with the rest of the crowd. They are contrarians. They say, no, we must hold it here. Hold the line. But sooner or later, they'll see the wisdom of the larger whales and the consensus that Bitcoin must come down hard. It's really the only possible savior for Bitcoin, and that is to come down hard. Very, very, very hard. And then go through a very long period of suffering. Because through suffering, we will find happiness. All right? You can take that to the bank. Through suffering, you will find happiness. And Bitcoin and its holders must suffer. Suffer like you've never suffered before. You'll feel all the air from your lungs evacuate. You will be gasping. Blood will start coming from your eyes and your ears. Until you experience that, there will be no happiness. There will be no happiness in Bitcoin land. All right. Let's go to the chat. GameCuber, how you doing? I'm planning on taking a Bitcoin crypto trading course offered by one of the guys from CWN. Great. I don't know what you're going to trade. It's not really going anywhere. There's no volatility. It's a dead market. But good luck to you. And I'm sure that their course is very good, quite frankly. So I don't have anything bad to say about those guys. Arakara, market surge, 4th day in a row, and give it all back. Did they give it all back? I mean, I got out right at the very top, to tell you the truth, of this little blip. But there's a long ways to go. But let's see what you're talking about, giving it all back. Because I don't necessarily fall into that. Nah, give it all back. It hasn't even given up a third of it back. We probably can go down to, maybe on the S&P 2690, 2680. Yeah, I can see 2680. Let's see. I'm going to do something very uncharacteristic. I'm going to look at a Fibonacci retrace, only because the 76% retrace, whatever is, or 780s, whatever. That retrace is about the 2/3 margin, and that's what I use. I like to look at that. That is very near the average. 2/3 is really the key. 2/3. Remember that. 2/3. Not 1/3, not 3/3, not 7/3, but 2/3. All right, let's take a look at Flounder and Drown. I mean, Thinkorswim. There we go. There we go on the right-hand side here, this guy. So this is the pullback. You see this tiny little line? That's where I'm thinking that the S&P, maybe I'll make that a little bit bigger. So over here is the mid cap. Over here is the large cap. You can see this trend line, this longer term trend line. As we came down, hit a bottom, came up. When it broke through here, I was pretty much long from here, right down in this area. And got out in this area. Now I'm waiting for an area to re-enter. It's possible that, let's see, let's look at the mid cap. Yeah, it's possible that we could go down further here. This is where we predicted that we would find a top, and then down here somewhere. So it looks like we're pretty much overdone. So for that reason, I'm going to start adding some trades here. I'll add. There we go. I'll add an ES here. And just give me a second here. I need to add in this other account. Yeah, so I'm going long the ES right now. It's taking a little while for me to get to this other account. Hold on. I'm almost there. Did I misspell something? Oh. There we go. Takes my fingerprint to log in. That's really cool. I like that two-factor authentication with fingerprint. And we are in. All right. So hopefully we'll get a good price here. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Again, there's our buy line right there. So this is a free trade for you. This is from the embodiment. This is what the embodiment has said right there. Ah, there we go. It was waiting for me to give the final fingerprint. I have to give it 2 fingerprints. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. I need to get in this. Oh no, I'm going to miss the trade. All right, it's coming up. Order window. We want the ES. I really don't like the way Interactive Broker does things. Just seems so kludgy. And we want a market order. We don't want a limit order. Why do we want a market order, Ernie? All right, so we'll get in here. Yeah, we'll get in there. If it pulls back a little bit, we'll add another one. All right, let's go back to the comments. So there you go. There was a free embodiment trade for you. Nefarious Fool. Hello, Ernie. Long time. YouTube was kind enough to unsubscribe randomly. Jesus. But the crazy how 1% and 2% feels like a huge movement when the volatility isn't much in reality. That's true. Not much volatility. Yeah, so this looks like it might be a good trade. How do we trade the futures? I mean, do they have options? Yeah, actually, futures do have options. They're quite a bit more expensive than, say, stock options because the leverage is so much more on a future. But you can play spreads, and they are relatively inexpensive. So you can definitely play futures with options. I recommend that very highly, by the way. Thomas. Ernie, do you see dollar devaluation in the next year or 2020 again against gold or silver? Yeah, the dollar is going to continue to devalue. That's not going to stop, especially as we spend more and all that stuff. So sure, but I think the economy is going to continue to expand, and mostly keep up with inflation. So I think that we'll be fine. I am still in the process of getting my ACC qualified for futures trading. I can do options trading. Surging. We're not even close to 2,900 for the S&P 500 downfall incoming. Did I say surging? I said that we have a nice move off the bottom of this pullback, and now we're pulling back off the pullback. So maybe there was some miscommunication there. From a tech perspective, only why would you write off XRP? Oh my God. Exactly. From a tech perspective, who cares about a tech perspective? First of all, from a tech perspective, it has nothing to offer. And that's exactly what I've talked about this ad infinitum, and I really don't want to talk about it here. But yeah, XRP has no future. Save the BS, Ernie. Let's talk. Transaction speed destroys BT. I don't care about that. That has nothing to do with it. All right. Bitcoin is moving from one wallet to another, huge amounts. Somebody is buying in the OTC market, so somebody know, or they're selling, or that could be it too. Hydro says BTC is going to 7K, my man. Oh, eventually it will. And in fact, I've even predicted that in this environment that BTC will likely hit 7K, but still be in a bear market. It's likely to hit 9K and still be in a bear market. I believe that the range is going to be roughly 4 to 9K, but staying in the bottom half of that range for the next, 12, 18 months. So yeah, Peter Brandt. Peter Brandt is a fucking fool. Tell him I said that. It's going to 10K. Yeah, somewhere off in the distant, distant future. And we'll be there when that happens. Hydro, we still have a bet to make. What bet? I don't know. Yeah, now is not the best time to trade for sure, but it's a great time to learn. Not a good time to trade. With volatility down, I would say that, that's a tougher proposition, but volatility is up. So now is a really good time to trade, in my view. As a matter of fact, where is volatility today? Yeah, we're at 20 on the VX, on the VX futures. Is a fantastic time to trade. It's unbelievable. That is the sweet spot where you want to be. This is where to make money. And this is where I'm sure that the embodiment will really start shining too. I guess. I mean, I have no idea. We haven't really done any kind of correlation to volatility yet. But generally, automated systems and systems in general do better when volatility is somewhere between that sweet spot of, say, 17 to 22. Of course, it's all relative to the age that we're in, but yeah, now okay. Anyways, DGASP are gonna pool of a Bitcoin soon. I'm not sure what that means. Are gonna pool of a Bitcoin soon. That's not English. Maybe English isn't your first language. Everett Baptist, market surge? Come on, be real. Nothing is surging now. I didn't say that. I was doing a recap of what happened over the past week. Yes, the market surged, and now we're pulling back. Maybe a third pullback, which I don't think is really what I'd want. I'd want it to maybe pull back a little bit more, but that looks like to be about it. And Hydro says, because he's a Bitcoin maximalist and he's got his head up his ass, says it's going to go up while the stocks are going down. No offense, by the way. Buying a hell of silver and gold. Real all eyes. Is there a reason for that? Why would I be buying silver and gold? Let's take a look at gold right now. Gold's doing nothing. Nothing, honey. The XAU USD is not looking good as well. Alejandro Aspinwall says, can you see the DOM with Thinkorswim? Yes, you can. Let me show you how to do that. All right. So the way you do that is you come over here to the right where it says Active Trader, and you click on that, and that will bring up the trading dome. Doesn't look like I have level 2 on here, so that's okay. That's all you really need. You can see a little volume profile here for the pricing. But yeah, that's where you see the trading dome, but with the Active Trader, and that's on the side of every chart. All right. So that's how to see the trading dome in Thinkorswim. Flounder and drown, as my mentor calls it. Flounder and drown. There's something I've been thinking of and would like your perspective. If silver is the second most used commodity with 20K industry use cases second to natural gas, why would the price of silver ever reach $50 to $100 and be sustainable if it's used so heavy in industries? Well, there's not a lot of correlating factors that you're talking about there. I mean, just because it has an industrial vector that is very high, you know, right now there's plenty of silver. And so that's really the case. It's a supply and demand thing. The demand thing isn't changing that much. I mean, there is no real increase in demand. The supply thing is probably there's probably more supply now than ever. So that's one of the reasons I think you're going to see silver down. Gold has very little industrial vector to it. It's mostly a monetary vector. And inflation hasn't really kicked in yet. So right now, I'm not really seeing gold go anywhere. Now, platinum might be a good play. Let's see, where's platinum? Oh, yeah, platinum has actually made a move. Because platinum's industrial vector is much higher on a relative basis than gold. Hydro, there's no statistical correlation between indexes and gold and silver. That's true. That is true. And I will show you that. If you just give me a second here. So that is very, very true. And I'm going to bring this over here and to show you the statistical correlation of all the different commodities. All right, where's it coming? Where is it? Why is it coming up? It's still loading. I'll just let that go for a little bit, then I'll come back to it. Wouldn't their cost of production no longer be sufficient? I don't know. What's the cost of production of silver? Typically, silver, gold, platinum, they all come out within the same kind of mining process. So I guess you'd have to figure that in. All right. So just bringing up the cross correlation tool here, and now I'll show that. This is actually from the CME group. So if we were to look at the indexes, here's ES or the metals, here's the metals, and then go down to the indexes. Like here's ES right here. And then go over to gold and metals. and has a very, very low correlation, probably one of the lowest very, very close to zero. So I would say you're right, sir. You are very right. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't see it. There it is. I didn't share the screen yet. So here's the ES, here's the Russell. No, that's not the Russell, that's gasoline. The ES and the NASDAQ. And if we come over to where metals are, which is right here, is gold. The ES correlation, man, it is almost zero. Look at that. There is no correlation. The highest correlation is actually with silver and copper with the ES, but even that is super small. And which that makes kind of sense because you know, those are industrial metals for the most part. Where gold, like I said, is more of a monetary vector. So very little. I mean, you'll see all the big correlations, you know, like grains, soybean to soy meal, or you come down here. Here you have silver to gold. There's a correlation. If you saw silver to or gold to platinum and silver to platinum, there's also, but that correlation is still weak. Come down here to energy, and you'll see that within energy, you have oil, a very strong correlation between oil and heating oil, or oil and gasoline, and that's because they are all part of the cracking process. They all come from the same base commodity. And then you come down a little further, and you'll see that the ES is very highly correlated with the NASDAQ with a 0.91. And then further down, interest rates. There's a high degree of correlation between interest rates. So that's where you get like the yield curve in the 10 versus the 30, or the 10 versus the 5, or et cetera, et cetera. And then further down here, here's a correlation between the euro and the British pound, right down here, right down at the bottom. And okay, so that's where all the big correlations are. Everything else has a very low degree of correlation. So hopefully you were edumacated with that. All right, got to go back. I need to keep an eye on what's going on in the world here. All right, back to the questions. I'm sick of hearing your BS rhetoric behind XRP. You clearly blind to innovation. No problem. No, I am not blind to innovation. I happen to know the market intimately. Well, let me just say this. I haven't been materially involved in the market from a technology point of view for a little while. However, I keep close tabs on it, but I was about as involved as you can imagine, you know, with interbank monetary transfers and banking and so forth, and the use of interbanking or international interbanking transfers with SWIFT network and others, and understanding exactly where banks are, who are the major players that are in that game. And I can tell you from that point of view, XRP has no chance. All right. And quite frankly, what I see behind XRP is once they realized that they had no chance there, they started going after other potential use cases and then failed one after another. So until they actually prove that they can have some stickiness with any particular, now as a currency, I don't think they have any chance. I mean, it's too centralized. So to say that I don't have like a handle on this, you're completely wrong. I have more handle than you'll ever have. Let me put it that way. Unless you get involved in, you know, right from the ground floor and do the kind of work that I did. So you can say whatever you want. Um, what's your opinion on ITC? What is ITC? Or is that, oh, LTC, Litecoin? I have no opinion. Really. I mean, oh, the only opinion I have is that Charlie Lee was a fucking genius to sleaze and just rape everybody right up the ass. And then on top of that, make himself look like this, I don't know, altruistic hero with everybody. That takes chutzpah, balls, and genius. So I like Charlie for that. And now he's still involved, and he's sitting there with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in his bank account. 700 million ounces of silver available. Gold has 500 use cases and around $2.6 billion. The 500 use cases means nothing, the number of use cases. Hydra, why did you leave CWN Stream? The guys there are doing a good job keeping up the show even if the interest in cryptocurrencies market is down. I have no problem with the guys. The guys were just fine. The problem was that it wasn't a very big market, and they promised a big market. And when I was there, you know, you'd get 40, 50 people on the stream, which I can do here just as well, but I get much better engagement with people. Also, I have, you know, better potential to grow this. And they told me that they were going to get placement in the front page of Twitch, and that would bring in a lot of people. And there was one day where there were 200 people in there, and it surged. But the engagement was empty, and it led me to believe that there wasn't anybody behind those viewers because there was still only like 4 people engaged. Here, when I get even just 30 people online with this stream, and the only reason we only have 22 viewers right now is because I haven't been doing this for about a week. Once I get going on this, we'll get it up to 60, 70, 80 people watching, and I get fantastic engagement through the chat. And that's what I'm looking for. And will for sure penetrate the bank. Okay, let's see. It will penetrate the banking sector. Never. It will never penetrate the banking sector unless Swift decides to buy them. I must have missed your comment. Sorry about that. All right. So that's about all I have to say today. My outlook for today is that we could possibly pull back a little bit more on the market. Probably a good time to get in, at least on the big caps like the S&P 500. The mid caps, I think that they are going to be under some pressure. Will this be the bottom? I don't know. Let's see. Let's check to see what we have to say on our call. Where was that? What did the call say? Give me a second here. Got a lot of stuff to look at. $17.69. So the mid cap market, we're looking at $17.69 as a potential target. When I say a potential target, what I mean is that from a statistical point of view, that's about the 2/3 case or 1 standard deviation. $17.69 for the mid cap. So we still have a long ways. Wow, a long ways to go. Wow, look at that. All right, so let me put this into perspective. So on the mid caps on the left, you can see today's move. All right, and this is today's move on the ES, the large caps. All right, This is approximately where the equivalent move on the large caps would be. But this is where the embodiment is predicting it will go. So we had an entry from up here and then a target down here. That is fantastic. So that leaves me a little bit leery on the large caps. Will it, can it diverge that much? I don't think so. So I think if we start moving down hard, I'm going to be looking to take quick profits if we do a little burst up here. Let's see, what are we looking at as a target for the S&P? At 2761. Wow. Yep, that is the setup right there. I am showing it. So the target is almost right up to where we went. So it's going to retrace this entire thing, this entire drop. At least that's what is predicted by the embodiment. Oh, by the way, if you would like to subscribe to these trade calls, has about an 80% win rate, a 25% return on capital. I don't think you'll ever find anything quite like that. Have a lot of people in it there. I'd say that they're mostly happy. The service has only been around for about a month and a half, and then the week before last last week was kind of a slow week where we had maybe, I don't know, an even number of winners and losers. So from the big scheme of thing, it wasn't that bad. But if you happen to pick the losers, then you felt all the brunt. If you happen to pick the winners, then you thought, well, that week was fine. And then this past week has just been spectacular, where we've made all kinds of cash. Maybe just a couple of losing trades, but anyways, the embodiment, go to traderofutures.com, sign up. It's only $99 a month. Chances are that on your very first trade, when I say the chances are, I'm saying that there's probably about a 65 to 70% probability that on your very first trade that you're going to make enough to pay for the entire service for a year. And that is a statistical truth. So that's kind of cool when you think about that. All right. I think I will be adding one more, if it drops down a little bit more, one more ES contract. I've got two out there now. But I'll tell you, that big drop that the AI is predicting, that's making me think. Chris says, if traditional markets are so bullish, what's up with the Russell 2000? Many respected investors use it as a good indicator for bull and bear markets. All right. Let's look at the Russell. I can't find that symbol. What the hell's going on with that? That's weird. I put in the right symbol. Type it in. And let's put it on the daily. Yeah, the Russell 2000 doesn't look, it is pretty much mirroring what the other markets are doing. I mean, it is admittedly a little weaker than the other markets, but I don't know. I don't know what is up with the Russell 2000. It doesn't seem to be that, So the comment is, if traditional markets are so bullish, what's up with the Russell 2000? Many respected investors. Why do we always have to go back and then like refer to many respected investors as if they somehow, how did they earn their respect? Are they that consistent with their calls? I don't think so. Most of them are not. So I don't give a shit what other respected investors do. As a matter of fact, when I hear that, I want to say, well, fuck them. Then they're obviously fucking wrong. Adway, thank you very much. Yes, give it a thumbs up right now. Ernie, my algo syndicate trader algo by Tom Williams is detecting a huge pump for BTC on the weekly. I don't know how you actually do something like that. You know, you have any kind of algo that is of any kind of quality that can predict Bitcoin. So yeah, I wish you good luck, Trojan, but I have really no faith in that. Ernie, you are Socrates and Galileo in the time of ignorance. Keep spreading your wisdom, elder. Elder. I'd rather not be considered the elder, but I am probably older than most of you. Arakar, hey Ernie, can you do a webinar or a course on trading options on futures, please? Yes, I will do that. I will do that very, very soon. That's a good idea. It's not much different than trading stocks, in that all the strategies and everything are the same. The basics of futures are the same. The thing that's different is the underlying commodity and the expirations and things like that. So there are some things that you need to know. But it's probably not going to be for a little bit. You can probably go to the Discord and to that group and ask questions, and then maybe I can answer some of those, and that will help get you on your way. Well, look at this. Look at this. Oh, come on. Looks like the ES is starting to pick up there. Right there. So I bought under this yellow line because that's where the embodiment told me to take the trade. Good odds right there. And look at that. Thing is, what's happening with the mid caps? Let's take a look at a 30-minute chart. So we're coming back up. Yeah, no way to tell. No way to tell. You know, it could also be that we didn't reach high enough potential here for this larger trade to see its potential right there. Look at that. Isn't that something? Yeah, maybe we didn't come up far enough for that to come down. That could be too. Although I shorted it a little bit, not too much. I got out right around here because I was kind of queasy about this ES. Both are playing on my minds. Both are on my mind. Uses volume spread analysis. So, okay, so the Trojan, you're saying that your algo is using volume spread analysis. I am not a fan of that. I find it, I don't know how you quantify that. So I'd like to see how that gets quantified. That'd be interesting. Chris W., why are you so convinced the BTC will get another pump before we get a big drop? I mean, we've plenty already. Why one more? Just the rumor mill. Just the rumor mill, that's all I'm saying. Not much more than that. Just the rumor mill. I don't have any technical reason. I don't have any. I mean, I have, let's call it superior knowledge reason. And I don't know if it's enough superior knowledge to hang your hat on. Ernie, how often do you post equities trades? Well, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be posting every equities trade that comes out, but we had none today. It's hit or miss. Like 1 week we might have 10 of them, and another week we might have 3 of them. Oh, by the way, all the equities trades so far have been 100% winners, except for maybe one. I shouldn't have said 100%. That's not 100%, is it? Burgers guy says when the 10 period moving average crosses the 50 period moving average, moon. That is a losing strategy, by the way. I can guarantee it. As a matter of fact, I will give anybody $100,000 that can show me that the crossover, the 10 over the 50 in any market is a winning long-term strategy. None. Long short a ratio soon ready for the big Bitcoin short. I would be happier with the AI service. I've only had greens. Oh, I couldn't be happier with the AI service. I've only had greens. That's awesome. And that could be because you've chosen all the good trades and maybe missed some of the bad trades because, there's quite a few trades that are in there. And there are some trades that go bad. But see, that's the whole point of this, that we're working off of multiple non-correlated strategies. Every single trade that goes out is born from a strategy that is completely unique, that the AI, the embodiment, made up. So any thoughts on Neo and ADA? Yeah, they're both crap. Have you heard anything from them? Have they made any inroads? Has any company come out and said, we're going with Neo and ADA? Any substantial company. It's going to be our new business model. It's the way we're going to take over the world. It's not happening. It's not going to happen for quite some time. We're just simply not ready for a decentralized economy. There are no business models that work for virtually any of the Fortune 1000. It's way better than trading dull-ass crypto. Yeah, Andrew, that is exactly right. They took my money and fled to Puerto Rico. Bastards. Damn those cryptomaniacs. It's like kleptomaniacs. That was kind of a pun. Wow, look at that. The ES is still moving up. Looks like those trades were good. Maybe we can catch it all the way to the top. Maybe when it gets half. I don't know. Maybe we add to the trade. Maybe that's what we do. We add to the trade. So we're up $260. Let's add another one to the trade. I'm going to add another one to the ES. Yep. Going to add one more to the ES because that will make us feel good. I feel good. Adding to the ES. I feel good. Let it pull back a little bit. And then add. Added. Done. Crypto bacon. All our crypto losses were used by some crypto billionaire to buy some land in Nevada. Yeah. That sounds about right. Raziel. Live trade management is nice. Unique content. You should do more. I think I will. But the time is over now. We're 50 minutes into this show. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much. We'll be back on Monday. I'll produce a video over the weekend, give you an update on how things are going. I'm very sorry that I was unavailable most of this week. I was on a super secret mission that I can't talk about. Think of, I'm kind of like the Chuck Barris of the Gong Show. If you don't know what I mean, look it up. Look it up. All right, guys and gals. We shall see you next time. Well, look at that. We're getting this surge in fake viewers again. I think they're fake, because if they were real, they would be commenting. If you are a real viewer, you must comment right now, and you must like this video. You must like it. Come on, do it. Oh, by the way, I noticed my teeth have gotten so yellow. I got this teeth whitening thing. I don't know if it's going to work. I wonder if I can do this live. We'll turn this into a makeup hour, too. Does that do anything? I'll do one tooth. What do the instructions say? I can't read it. I'll read the instructions. I'll do one tooth, and I'll see if it actually works. Yeah, too much coffee. That's exactly right. Yeah, this is a full-service show. From Bitcoin to tooth decay. This tooth right here. That one's, it's a little lighter right there. That tooth right there cost me $3,000. No one wants to see my beat up grill. All right. All right. So now the time has come. All right. Thank you very much. If you're not already part of the Discord, go down below and click the Discord link, the invite there, and come to our Discord. We have fun all day long, all night long there. And there are some surprises there that will absolutely blow you away. Can't talk about it, though. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.